Introspection is the art of understanding about yourself and how you react to events going on in the world. Any life coach worth their salt will tell you that introspection is one of the fundamentals of self-improvement. The more self-aware you become, the more you're able to understand others, which helps you in many ways. Why? Because self-awareness gives you an idea of how people tick. To take introspection to its highest possible level will benefit every aspect of your life. Through introspection you can begin to change aspects of your behavior that don't assist you in being a success. You can identify the specific things that make you happy. Introspection is not just about learning about yourself, or it teaches you about the world in general. Perhaps the most significant thing of all about introspection is that it encourages you to challenge existing beliefs and values that you may take for granted. Introspection acts as a torch into the soul that gives us the information we need to make the necessary changes. It helps to ingrain a sense of realism counterbalanced with optimism and self-belief for the future. Introspection requires you to spend time thinking about the things that are going well in your life, as well as what is wrong. By shifting the focus in this way you allow yourself to see the unsavory things about you, but you are placed in a frame of mind that will take decisive action. On a positive note, you may discover extra things you enjoy and do well in. Introspection is a great way of highlighting an area that you have an interest or skill in. You encourage yourself to incorporate new behaviors and positive thinking, but you do not dwell on the past of previous failings. Introspection increases your levels of self-awareness, but it also improves your decision-making ability because you feel more confident in the knowledge you are basing your decision-making on. Limiting decision-making is any decision that decides not to proceed with something on the basis of not feeling capable of doing it. Any decision you make that is reached by you thinking that you are too stupid or bad is an example of this. The more limiting decisions you make in your day-to-day life increase the likelihood of this type of decision-making becoming habit. Through developing your sense of introspection to its fullest extent, you will become far more honest with yourself. There is little point in being a little bit honest or biased against your weaknesses. It is essential that you manage to avoid looking at yourself through rose-tinted glasses. The best way to do this is by asking the right questions and answering them honestly. You have to become self-aware to the point where there are no secrets being kept from yourself. Truth, no matter how unsavory, is the first place to start before finding solutions to your problems. So, the best way to find stuff out about something is to ask the relevant questions. In your case, the relevant questions should include things that answer specific questions about yourself, such as what are my biggest strengths? And what am I weak at? Search for the most honest appraisal possible. Do not be afraid of confronting your weaknesses because it takes strength to do that. From learning your weaknesses, you become aware of what to build upon and what to exclude from your future positioning. Introspection is a highly emotive process. You need to identify the dominant emotions of your character in order to understand who you are. Labeling an emotion precisely is not that important. The most important thing is to be able to analyze your thoughts and behaviors in a way that shows you where your attention is being focused on. With that in mind, think about looking at emotions as being either unhealthy or unhealthy rather than searching for a precise descriptive term. Not only does this make things simpler, but it also allows you to react in a controlled and typical way. In addition, it avoids confusion when you come to discussing your feelings with other people. For instance, think about the different ways that two separate people can describe the same thing. We may use different words to describe the same feeling. In recent weeks I received an email about a new website that is very different from the usual self-help stuff you may have come across. It is, however, an absolute cracker of a course. I want to ask you something. Have you ever avoided doing something for fear of other people laughing at you? Have you ever not gone through with something you wished to for worrying about what others will think of you? I bet you have, right? We all have. In life, one of the biggest things to hold people back is, well, other people. It seems we all have this innate fear of making ourselves look silly in front of other people. This leads to us avoiding doing things that in the long run could make our lives a whole lot better. For example, maybe you were once in a bar and saw someone of the opposite sex that was extremely attractive. You avoided approaching them just in case they shoot you down and everyone laughs at you. That person could have been your soulmate, the person you were meant to be with, but you avoided approaching them for fear of what others might think. Another example might be you've always wanted to start a business, but you were so scared of failing in front of others that you never began. That business might have made you a millionaire. The fear of what others think of you stopped you from taking that step forward. The long and short of it is this. The fear of worrying about what others think of you is a very real, very powerful thing that all of us suffer from on some level. It is a fear that can be crippling and can stop you from being the authentic and real you. Andrew J. Chase and his Secret Social Weapons course. J. Chase is a guy who had his first ever panic attack aged just 8 years old. By 16 he was so worried about what people thought of him that he wouldn't walk into a bank if there were other people in there just in case his voice went all high-pitched as he spoke to the cashier and other people laughed at him. In short, the guy was in a dark place. Fast forward a few years and he now runs a very successful business where he deals with millionaires on a daily basis telling them what to do. It's quite a dramatic change. And he has done this all through a simple system he calls his Secret Social Weapons. The course is comprised of an easy-to-read, short book that walks you step by step through a mind switch technique that will enable you to stop worrying about what people think of you. I'll be honest, when I sat down to read the book I was slightly worried it would be a heavy-going, boring read. It wasn't. I was hooked on the first page and read it in one sitting. The book has been created so that you can read it whenever you want. It's not a 200-page monster. Jay has written it in short, quick-fire points so that you can dip in and dip out each time you need a social weapon to boost your confidence. I can't give away what his system exactly is, but it covers cool things like the social illusion principle, which instantly removed my fear of what people thought of me. He then goes on to give you mind tricks that you can use to develop movie star confidence by stealing their confidence levels. Seriously, it sounds a little crazy, but it works. Visit the link below. You'll be able to get 2 full videos without paying a penny. One of which shows you Jay's system for destroying negative thinking patterns. If you do decide to get the course, Jay gives you a full 8 weeks to try it out and see if his system is for you. Considering you can see results in the first day, that shows just how confident he is that Secret Social Weapons can help you to stop worrying about what people think of you permanently. Simply copy this link into your address browser and take a look. Thanks for listening and enjoy the course.